Hey guys, what is going on? It's been wow, it's been a while since I recorded a motorcycle video. December, and it's already February. The year is 1/12 gone already. That's just crazy. Anyway, today I wanted to put the Adventure Rally X tower on the DRZ KLX400, and wanted to record that because I had done some searches on, how does this thing mount, right? And their website, maybe I didn't dig deep enough, but I didn't really find um, plans or instructions on their website on how the actual rally tower mounted to the front of the bike. This does not have anything, a bracket or anything welded to the triple clamp area. So I was, had big questions. How does it mount? Anyway, I have the tower here now, and I'm able to install it and show you guys exactly how it mounts. Okay, so that's the rally tower, sorry, windshield brackets. So now it's pretty obvious how this mounts, right? It's going to utilize the radiator mount holes, and it's going to sit behind the radiator mounts themselves. The radiators will go, obviously out here and on the other side. And that creates a bracket. This wraps around your stem, your gooseneck stem, and then that creates a bracket out the front that can attach to. So not really that difficult as far as mounting up, or appears to be not difficult. We'll find out. It comes pre-assembled like you see it here. I'm going to check all the tightness of the bolts, but they're probably, everything that needs to be torqued is probably torqued, but I'm going to double check it. This section is adjustable. This is where your instrument panel will now go. The stock OEM gauge cluster will bolt in this area here. And then up top, you can put your navigation system, whether that's a Garmin or a phone or what have you. And it's adjustable for the tilt angle. So that's kind of nice. And you just tighten these bolts up when you're happy with the angle. I believe the windshield is adjustable tilt-wise as well, based on where you mount the holes. So we'll get to that and see how that works out. The tower seems to be very well built, and it looks way heavier than it is. It's not light, but just looking at it, you expect it to be 20 pounds, but it's nowhere near that. It has a 3D printed ABS type light housing with like a Baja Designs high beam. I ordered it in yellow. It's got a projector beam main light. Looks like a city light down below that, the little guy. And then down below that, it has a light bar. So plenty of light options on this guy. It comes with the USB power. Don't know if you can see that. It's kind of dark in here. And I'm assuming the ignition key and any other switch might go in here. And then it comes with a power panel. On this side, this would run to the positive lead of your battery, and then you can run things off of that. So yeah, let's get to it. Actually, the instructions say I need to obviously remove this, the gas tank, the shrouds, the seat. I have to take off, I have my Tusk instrument panel plate here. I'll have to take that off because the gauge will come off and mount to the tower. So this will no longer be used. The key will be mounted in the tower as well. So I have to find new homes for things like this ram ball. Shouldn't be a problem. You have to remove the front tire, slide the forks down and remove the headlight mounting brackets. What else did it say to remove? I'll probably end up losing these, the driving lights and the bracket from Tusk. But I'm sure I can find them a home on another bike. Not really a problem. I don't know that I have enough clearance here now, or will have enough clearance here now to run my fender bag. So might have to come up with something else on that. I have some plastic darts I can fill these holes in with. That's not a big deal. The turn signals will end up mounting to the tower. I have some micro LEDs that I might use on the tower. I don't know. Depending on how far these stick out of the tower, and are they still protected if I lay the bike over, or will they get knocked off? Not sure. We'll see when we get there. So yeah, let's start taking the bike apart, and I'll start filming when we get that done, right? So seat off, tank off, front tire off, headlight off, brackets and front fender off, headlight brackets off the forks. Yeah, let's get going. Progress being made, I think. Anyway, yeah, all the goodies stripped off. In the process of moving the rubber grommets over to the tower so that the panel will fit. I need to move the ignition switch, other various things. I'm going to start adding the brackets to hold the system in place. Need to take the ignition switch out of here. I think I said that already. I do believe it goes right there. You can see that. It's kind of dark in here. And then start trying to figure out the wiring. Actually, I think it's pretty much plug and play, but we'll see. But yeah, the bike's looking a little naked. So all the bracketry and everything here that held on the instrument cluster is off. I just went ahead and removed the front fender for now. I installed the extension on the speedo cable. Before I did that, I put some AMSOIL gear lube down here and spun the tire until, a few, not even an ounce probably, drained down in there. It'll work its way down. I also filled this with AMSOIL gear lube. And if we roll it here, we have motion. So that's good. And then, interesting. I rode this bike maybe a week and a half ago. Everything was fine. Today, turn on the key. My Tusk lithium battery is flat dead, and I don't know. It's been on this charger now for an hour and nothing. So maybe putting the lead acid back in. That's kind of sucks. I don't think that was all that inexpensive, so I might be sending them an email. Nothing on the bike is shorted out, so there was no drain. So yeah, don't know, man. But first lithium battery I've tried, and well, I might go back to lead acid and stay there. Anyway, let's proceed. Okay, getting the brackets on then. It says to use the existing bolts. I probably have 3 or 4 threads screwing into the frame, and once they go through that bracket. So I may source some better bolts, slightly longer, slightly harder. I don't know. Anyway, they fit really well. You can see the steering lock goes right through the hole that's machined for it. They follow the frame line really well. The holes line up. They're marked right and left. Sorry if the shop light is too bright, but it was kind of dark. And then there's the left. Same fitment on this side. So, looking pretty good. And that gives you a mount here in the front to mount the tower to. So, it says not to tighten any of the bolts until the tower's mounted, which makes sense. That's pretty much the rule for any kind of assembly. Get all the bolts started, get things lined up, then tighten them, right? So let's proceed. Okay, you ever have one of those days where just about everything in the garage that can go wrong goes wrong? That was today. I spent most of the day working on this guy, and it was just one of those days. Not the fault of the tower at all, just things didn't work the way they were supposed to. For example, the ignition switch has failed. The Tusk lithium battery was dead. I jump started it with my capacitor and then charged it, and now it's taking a charge. So it's possible that that's going to be okay. Let's see. Oh, the assembly of the tower, it's interesting for sure. I mean, getting this bracket in that the ignition switch goes in and getting to the nuts behind here, there's really no access. Kind of a pain in the ass. I think this plate, probably just this plate, and possibly the one on the very bottom, would be much better with rib nuts, right? In the material, instead of trying to reach back here with a wrench and get, I mean, they're way down there. But anyway, yeah, that could be improved on. So it's kind of a pain to work on the thing and then get all the wires. Like here you can see the main wiring harness from the frame goes through here, and all the wires are tucked into this section behind the light, which there is room. At first, there doesn't seem like there's enough room, but there is. I just ordered a new ignition switch, and believe it or not, Amazon had one overnight. If I click this too far, it just turns off. Watch. So it's like the indent is not lining up with the switch plate, right? But I mean, everything works the way it's supposed to, which is good, except for the switch I'll replace. But Amazon had them. Overnight delivery, $30, and it's a Suzuki part. So, yeah. I don't have a locking gas cap, so I don't have to worry about the key being different. And I don't use the helmet lock, so again, no big deal with that. I have a lot of wiring to do tomorrow. And instead of running a wire all the way back to here, a lot of this rat nest is going to come out. I'm going to use the terminal block that he created here, because now I have this powered with a relay. And let's see. There we go. And so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 open areas that are fused that I can power some devices. So I'll run my heat grips off of here, and there's 3 more at the bottom, which I'll probably connect. Yeah, the USB charger. Yep. Got to think about things. But when all the lights are on, it's pretty darn bright. So there's a light bar here. There's a city light right there, a projector beam right there, and the high beams right there. I left my spacers in here on my fender, hoping that I could get my tool bag to fit in here, or fit on here still, but I don't think that's going to work out. So I might remove the spacers tomorrow, put the fender up where it's supposed to be. But yeah, everything, as far as the tower itself goes, everything fits perfectly. It's really, really nice. The machine work, the bending, it's good. You can tell everything was CNC. This little bracket up here, which tilts, you could have your GPS or whatever up top. The instrument cluster remounts here, relocates off the handlebars to here, and there's a speedo extension that allows you to mount it higher like that. Just all the brackets that go alongside the frame. Perfect fit. Literally perfect fit, everything. So tomorrow I'll get my switch. I'll do some rewiring. I'm taking a break. And I think we might be actually might be going to Disneyland tomorrow. So I might not work on this until tomorrow afternoon, which is fine. No big rush. It's still rainy and cold out, but tomorrow it's supposed to be sunny. So Disneyland should be good. But we'll get back at it tomorrow night and work on the video some more. So far, pretty happy with it. It's interesting, for sure. Definitely gives the DRZ a new outlook. Anyway, we'll tune back in tomorrow. You guys have a good night. Happy Valentine's Day. All right, after a day at Disneyland with a record-setting crowd, we're back in the garage. Disneyland kind of sucked. Yeah. I think we rode a couple rides and got a bite to eat and left. Good thing we don't pay to get in. Anyway, so where did we leave off? We pretty much got the tower bolted up. I think I went over how the brackets connect to the frame. We have this bolted up. We have the instrument cluster on top. I still have to do some wiring here. I have to wire in the turn signals. And let's go on the other side. The lighting's better. So I put some LED turn signals here. The interesting thing is I put a digital flasher, which is right down there, and they still blink fast. So I don't know, blink fast. Yeah. I'm just going to go with it for now. But I need to wire on the Suzuki tips so I can just plug them in like standard blinkers. Yeah, let's move around. Got some wiring taken care of there. Gonna put the change the fuse out to a 10 and put the heated grip power here. And what else did we do? Oh yes, we got all the excess wiring removed out of here. All that's left now is the dongle for battery charging or accessories, and ran everything up. Now I just got to tie everything together. These are all the wires for the heated grips. I have to say the one thing I don't like about the tower, but it may not be an issue. It's really not an issue. It's just the open triangle right there. You can see all the wiring. Maybe I'll make a boot or something that goes over that. I don't know. We'll see how it is once it's all done, right? Thought about putting I'm going to put probably my handlebar bag back on here since I can't run my fender bag anymore. I don't think there's going to be clearance to run a fender bag. It's probably going to hit on this light bar, but that's that. Oh, the battery. It's something interesting. We're sitting here, me and my son. We watched the battery charge for about 4 hours and not move off of 1.28 volts. And then I thought to myself, well, duh, you have an electric car. Why would that be? Well, that's because lithium batteries have a charge controller built in. And the battery is completely dead, and you can't charge a lithium battery when it's completely dead. You have to bump start the charge controller, right? So what I did was I put the battery on the battery charger, and I hit it with one of those capacitor emergency vehicle starting apparatuses, right? So I connected the positive and negative lead to the battery, also connected the charger, turned on the battery jump start device, and it shot up to 11 volts. And we left it there for about 30 seconds. And then removed the battery jump start and let the battery charger continue to charge. And sure enough, about 3 hours later, it was at 13.4, 13.5 volts. And it's maintained that for over 24 hours. So I'm going to say it's okay for now. But I ordered a spare just in case. It's on the shelf. Had to replace the ignition switch. It was acting funky on me on the long ride where, you had to jiggle it to get it to be on. I don't think the detent for, the clicks and the plate that actually spins in there that makes all the contacts was one piece anymore. The detent didn't match up with on or park or whatever, only off, which I guess is good. I mean, there's a possibility the switch malfunctioned and that's why my battery was dead. I don't think so, but maybe. I don't know. So we replaced the ignition switch, Amazon special. It's not Suzuki quality. I will order a Suzuki ignition switch and key to replace that one because it just doesn't feel right? It just, I don't know, feels kind of cheesy. But yeah, so basically nothing left to do but electrical now, and not really electrical for the operation of the headlights or anything. That's completely done. I'm actually surprised with how that works out. Sorry, I had to grab the key. So when you connect the tower to to the headlight, it only uses the low beam, I believe. So I'm thinking, how does he have this set up to, to work? So there's your low beam with your city lights. Really hard to see because it's so freaking bright. Then there's a relay back here that runs power. You see it right there. And it runs power to the device, or to the brick right here. This is your 12 volt, and then it grounds right there. And I guess, I didn't realize it, but I guess he has, you can hear it, there's another relay in here to control the high beam, which turns on the light bar and the yellow, right? You can hear it clicking. And everything works as far as the cluster goes too. You see the high beam light coming on. And I need to hook up, obviously, the turn signals. As we have we have fast flashing going on here, which, I mean, I don't know. I don't really care for that. So maybe the digital flasher I ordered wasn't really a digital flasher. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, hook up the heated grips, hook up the turn signals in the front. I also have my super bright LED light right here. It's my night light that shines on the gas tank and makes the entire gas tank glow. So I'm going to hook that up to my old light switch. And it's going to be straight off the battery. That way you can turn on just that if you want. But yeah, let's continue and get this wrapped up. Holy cow, guys, I think I got it. Yeah, it was an interesting project. The biggest problem I have was my giant hands. And obviously, getting older, your dexterity with your fingers isn't as good. And you got to work inside that little tower, right? It's probably this wide. And some places are kind of hard to get to. You got to somehow fit all the wiring that used to reside behind the headlight in that tower, and then route a speedo cable and everything else. Anyway, yeah, it's a lot of work. It's not hard. It's just a tedious amount of work. And if you have smaller hands and better fingers, probably won't be so bad. Anyway, let's take a quick look at it. And obviously I'll do a little bit longer review here in a bit after I get the garage cleaned up. But here's what we have. Okay, here we go. The Adventure Rally X tower, ARX. Yeah. I mounted my turn signals on the tower behind the windshield. As far as crash worthiness goes, I think it's going to be okay because laying the bike down left or right, the tower really doesn't hit the ground. So, I mean, it'd have to be a pretty bad crash for the tower to hit the ground. But it's actually very solid, very rugged. But, the windshield's plastic. So if you were to endo or something like that, I'm sure you'd have some catastrophic failures of some kind. But yeah, there it is. Go back to this side where the lighting is better. Got some fingerprints there I need to clean up. No more fender bag, not enough clearance. I plugged the holes with some darts. I added the giant loop handlebar bag for my registration stuff and just mounted it backwards because now I have all kinds of room up here. But let's turn the key on. Check out the indicators. These indicators have a flashing blue behind them, and they strobe and pulse and show the direction of turn. Same with the other side, obviously. And that's your low beam and city light. High beam turns everything on. Yellow, city light, low beam, and light bar on the bottom. Have my heated grips tied in to this fuse bank now. Less wires going to the back. I just have one main wire coming up, which is kind of nice. Also on the other side, the USB, which is included with the ARX. Sorry about that garage light. She's kind of bright, huh? And then heater grips, which should go off when I turn off the key now. Yep. Anyway, let me get the garage cleaned up. Get some views from further away, maybe. All right. Adventure Rally X is on the KLX. And Itchy Boots is on the TV. Anyway, got the garage a little cleaned up. Well, a lot cleaned up. As I've mentioned a couple times during the install, it's not an easy install. A little bit of fabrication, but for the most part, it bolts right on. Obviously, if you have a bunch of aftermarket accessories already on your bike like I did, heated grips, driving lights, etc., GPS mount, GPS power, you're going to have to redo all that. That probably took more time than actually installing the tower. The tower itself is pretty straightforward. The instructions are very simplistic, but in the end, it ends up being really odd. Here, let's look at the instructions. Here's CRQ code. Little note about using a quick splice. I'm not a fan of those, so I didn't use it. There's page 1 that tells you what to remove from the bike. And page 2 tells you how the side plates go on the bike to mount the tower to. The tower is completely assembled, and then a small diagram of how he has it wired as assembled from the factory. So, you know, everything from here forward on the tower is pretty much assembled. Some of the bolts are not tight. But I mean, if you're installing something, you're going to check all tightness anyway, right? So anyway, these plates go left and right. They go in between the frame and the radiator, and they use the radiator bolts. And that makes a little clamp that sticks forward of the gooseneck here. And then the tower just slides right on with 4 bolts and bolts to that. It appears my bike doesn't sit on my stand straight. I hate that stand. It was a gift, but you know, whatever. But the tower itself, you can look at the tire and look straight up. It's very vertical. It's a very well put together piece of equipment. Zero's complaints about that, other than, as mentioned before, you have to work inside of here and get all the wires. And yeah, I'm not going to talk about that anymore. Anyway, it's on. It seems to work. There is a fitment issue right here. Brake line's hitting the tower, so probably gonna have to come up with some different brackets that move the brake line further back, down here and up here. Turning the other way, it's fine. Got everything cleaned up here with the wiring. Brake line looks good. Got the giant loop bag mounted backwards because, you know, got a big hump on this side for gasoline. Got the tugger back on. Rerouted the speedo cable so it's got less of an S-turn in it. It's basically coming straight out of the bottom of the tower, goes up through the tower with an extension and plugs into the instrument cluster. So pretty straight, and then a little S-turn down around. I like that better. Gonna remove that hook, don't really need it anymore. Yeah, it's plan on spending all day. It's an all-day thing, especially, like I said, if you have some aftermarket stuff that you're going to have to move over to work with the tower, right? I think I've already gone through the headlights and the turn signals and all that stuff. That's your low beam. It doesn't seem that bright. We'll find out tonight. I don't know. Bike's crooked, but there. I mean, it's supposed to be lower on the left, right? For driving on the right-hand side. Here's your high beam. It's crazy high. Turn signals. I did put a digital flasher in, but apparently it wasn't really a digital flasher. The front turn signals pulse and then go the direction of travel, left. And then there's the reminder blue light on the backhand side. Or if someone's sitting beside you, you know, it might give them a clue that you're turning. Yeah, and that's it as far as the lighting goes. Like I said, everything works like it's supposed to. Looking pretty good from the front. The windshield obviously has way more protection than what we took off. Speaking of what we took off, let's look at the components removed, right? So first and foremost, the windshield, headlight fairing, Pug. I might put back on there after I write it. I want to see how it works out. These are the headlight bracket mounts that slip onto the forks. This is the headlight. I have a Tusk LED conversion in this headlight. I removed, this is a Tusk for a DRZ or a DR650 aluminum plate for mounting auxiliary driving lights, right? So that came off. I also had the Tusk instrument panel with a ram ball dismounted to the top plate of the handlebars. And there's a USB power in there. The tower came with its own, so, and then the turn signals and wiring for the old auxiliary lights. But yeah, let's take a walk around, get one last look. Looking pretty good. I like it anyway. Guess that's really all that matters. Now all that's left to do is take it out and ride it. See how it feels. I'm sure there's more wind protection now, but probably not a lot. Looks pretty good. I like it. I'm happy with it anyway. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. And if you have any questions, post them, you know, down below. And if there was anything about the video you liked and it was helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you can, but the thumbs up is more important. YouTube looks at that and says, maybe more people should see this. You guys have a good one. And the next video will be a test ride, I believe. See ya.
Enemy vehicle